But
I'm sure there's a lot of folks out there that are kind of maybe seeing themselves as both faces or both sides of that mask, where they've got, the one that they think they should be showing everybody, and the one that they see when their eyes are closed. You mentioned a little bit ago, Aaron, that through all the writing that it caused you to make some pretty major changes as well, professionally, perhaps personally as well. And I think you alluded to certainly with your own writing. Would you mind unpacking that a little bit and maybe talking about some of those things? Because I love talking to people like you that really push through those crossroad moments. And I'm guessing the fact that you talked about it so positively, that was a positive thing for you, and that you were able to overcome a few maybe demons or a few of those darker sides of the mask.
Yeah. So let's look at a story like Damage Inc., in which is the story of one of these social workers going to these people's homes, but she knows that she's almost not fit to do her job because her burnout is so severe that she knows that she can't. She's not protecting herself. And if she can't protect herself, then how is she going to help others? It's that old cliche about we're on takeoff and the plane is starting to shake and the masks are going to drop down from the roof on the plane. Make sure you put the mask on you so you can breathe before you put it on your kids. Because if you go pass out, then your child will suffer. And so that whole idea was very, very strong in that character's mind. And that almost identity blurring between work should be at work and my personal life should be in my personal life. The crossover in an almost dangerous kind of way, all of that was absolutely stuff that I was experiencing. And so I was having a lot of anxiety about work. I was having panic attacks. I was thinking the compartmentalization between my personal life and my professional life, the lids on those boxes were loose, and all of the little gremlins were crossing over back and forth. That's not an uncommon thing for people working frontline to feel. There are a number of you would kind of even feel it too. These are we safeguard ourselves when we put ourselves out there on the firing line, because if no one else is going to protect us, these industries are so starved for people who actually care. But the systems aren't built to support every element of the risk. And so there's things that we have to do to keep ourselves safe. And I read that story and I realized I need to make some changes. So I had a shift in roles. I moved away from working frontline and looking at, instead of going into people's homes, maybe supporting the teams who do that, stepping away and helping people. In that respect, I took some leave. I engaged with support to help me as well, which is something that we all need to do. And my creative outlet, which has always been my writing, was something that I did a little bit more meaningfully in an attempt to spread out all of these toxins. And as a result of doing those things, I felt that those compartmentalizations kind of pulled back into line. It was like putting myself through mental gym so that I could feel fit enough to go into it and go, yeah, I'm ready now. And the reason that all of that blurring was starting to happen is because I was tired. And so I needed to have some serious rest. And I'm still working through that period of rest by alternating how much I can work and at what different times. I'm still working my 40 hours a week and writing, but I'm taking opportunities to do things that aren't in the front line. And that is helping me just to bring balance back to my life. And that is enabling me to go to work and not feel anxiety anymore. And it's also enabling me to come back home and not feel like the snake is in my bed anymore. So, I genuinely think that writing this collection has been part of me being able to do that. And I think it's been a really big part of this. So I'm feeling a lot better, I guess is what I'm saying, basically.
Good. No, that's amazing. I'm really happy to hear that too, because it's so important on both sides. And I know this is going to come across totally selfish. That I obviously the better, more balanced that you are, you're going to be more capable of doing that kind of care and helping to support the people that you go to work to help support. Okay. And it's great as well because it helps to keep, those incredible stories going along so that, people like me and everybody else watching this as well can, can have that to enjoy, to look forward to, and also to connect to it, and hopefully get those questions, if not answered, at least start asking those questions about themselves and the people around them, and hopefully start to go towards that light that you offer through the darkness that you discuss in the books.
Yeah, look, discussions, and this is this kind of loops back to what we were talking about before about how the pandemic has changed us. Is that having conversations like this about struggles when it comes to mental health stability? Like I'm lucky and extraordinarily privileged that I have the self-awareness to know when things aren't right. That emotional regulation is not something that everyone has. And I've got the qualifications and the experience to be able to see the red flags and to try to make sure that I combat them in a way that's safe for me and for other people. Not everyone has that. So I think that the fact that we're having this conversation now and talking about it so openly, I don't know if we would have been happening, and I don't know if people would have been wanting to listen to us talk about it quite so much before the pandemic. I think that has changed. I love what the Horror Writers Association is doing currently in regards to having committees in regards to responsiveness when it comes to mental health awareness in regards to their programs. I think that's really, really important that we're seeing that even in the our genre. I think that these are important things for us to be talking about in a non-demonized type of way. And look, here's the thing: when it comes to like the depiction of mental health and horror is something that's always been a contentious thing. That sometimes, but I don't think we can't. I'm not saying that we can't write stories about our own fears and anxieties and the ugliness of mental health. I'm just saying that I think the conversations we're having about them are a little bit more. They're not falling on the deaf ears that they once were, and I think it's not a victim narrative either necessarily. It's really about strength and resiliency, and I think that's a shift that's newish, especially within, say, the writing field and our writing field specifically.
Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video as much as I hope you did, please consider hitting the like button so that this could reach out to more people like yourselves. Really appreciate that. And if you want to keep in touch with the channel, please also consider subscribing and hitting that notification button. Thanks so much. We'll see you on the next one. And while you're waiting for the next one, why not check out this video? Because that's the one that YouTube thinks that you're going to like next. Have a great day. Stay dark, stay well, stay hungry.